HIV is not written over somebody's face. It's really true. Yes, you can live a very healthy and happy life. You just need to be in a community that's supportive.
A warm welcome to Young Voices, an intercultural podcast. We are Young at Mission 21, and with this podcast, we want to give young people from all over the world a voice. Thanks to everyone for joining us on this journey to listen, learn, and grow together.
Hi, we are Mandela and Lisa, and we welcome you to the Young Voices podcast. Today we are talking to Rita. Hi, Rita. Rita lives in Cameroon and works as a PCC National HIV/AIDS coordinator. Could you maybe explain what your job exactly is?
As a national HIV coordinator, the activities of HIV in the entire PCC. That's a Presbyterian church in Cameroon. And we have activities based at the facilities, and we have activities based in the communities.
Can I ask what kind of project they are?
Like, for example, now we have a project that we say we have a project on sexuality and life skills education for HIV prevention and care. We're working in 34 secondary and high school, and in 5 different regions in Cameroon. And we also operate a youth and adolescent center.
It sounds like very important projects and a very important work. So we had a preliminary discussion or like conversation, and you told me you wanted to talk about your personal or also your career journey, how you came to this place and where you are right now. Could you tell us more about that?
I gained employment in the church as a regional HIV coordinator when I was about 23 years old. And that was after my bachelor's degree in nursing science from the University of Boya here in Cameroon. And normally when we go to school as being trained as a nurse, HIV is not a main topic. It can just be a topic in everything, but it's not an area of focus. And so normally after school, you're imagining that maybe you're going to be sent to maybe a hospital, you're going as a degree, as a holder in a bachelor's degree in nursing, you're expecting maybe you're going to be supervising a ward, or maybe a hospital ward, maybe being a ward child, doing your nursing activities, which you have really been trained in. But when I left the University of Boyafta upon my graduation, I applied for work, and then I was taken at the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon. And then I was taken and appointed immediately as the regional HIV coordinator. So I was sent, my first station of work was Bamenda, that's the Northwest region, because in Cameroon we have 2 Anglophone regions, the Northwest and the Southwest. So I was sent to the Northwest region as the regional HIV coordinator. And I was a pioneer coordinator. There had not been any other coordinator besides me. In fact, I was the first regional coordinator. And so it was a very challenging thing. And it wasn't like I was being sent to go and work in a team, or maybe we were 3 of us, a team of 2. No, I was alone. And I was going to work as a regional HIV coordinator. So there had not been laid out activities in the region for me to just go and be implemented. There wasn't any program designed or carved out for the region. So I was to go to create activities in relation to HIV, to educate the people, especially on a level of prevention, and also in the hospital to carry out counseling. And I just left school. And so I didn't have much experience as field work in public health per se, and also in development activities. So it was really a very challenging journey for me. On the first day when we called and given the employment here, it was at the head office in Boya, and we were two of us, a colleague and myself. She was going to a different region too, and I was going to a different region. And when we had a meeting, where many of us around the table, so I thought maybe all of us were coming to work. I didn't know that most of them who sat there, they were persons living with HIV. So now during the introduction, and they introduced themselves as persons living with HIV, I died within me. Yes, it was a shock to me. Of course, that was my first time that I knowingly sat beside someone living with HIV. I didn't know how to react because going to school and coming out, how many years back, it was really still so much of a stigma, a taboo, a lot of fear, a lot of misinformation. And it wasn't an easy one for me. I only had to just to keep it within me, to hold my fears within me. So that was the first challenge I had. Yeah, the first challenge I had was like, this is so close. I'm coming very close to persons living with HIV. But that was the first time that I knowingly sat beside someone that was living with HIV.
How many years is that ago?
Almost 20 years, stuff like that.
How is it now? Is there still such a big stigma, or do you think it's changed a bit?
No, it has reduced a lot. The stigma has reduced a lot. There's still stigma, of course. There's still stigma, but it has reduced. The fear has reduced. People have had a lot of information. 20 years, a long time back, and at that time we were still equating HIV to death, but now we don't see it that way. So.
And how did you gather the information? I mean, you were sent to a region where there was no one before, and you said that in the first meeting there was still a lot of misinformation as well, and you also didn't have a lot of information. How did you get the information to pass on to the people? Did they provide you with a lot of stuff, or did you have to build everything yourself?
All I had was materials to read. Yes, I read from the internet. I read from documents I got from the office. So I did a lot of study on my own before gradually now, because immediately we did not have training sessions. The training sessions started coming gradually. So by Mission 21, I can say, oh Lord, I always say, if I want to give credit to who I am now, I cannot talk without living away. I cannot leave our Mission 21. Because my capacity have been built sincerely by Mission 21. And the person that was always there leading the capacity or facilitating was Dr. Emery Kwate that left. So because we started the journey all through with him before even other partners and other stakeholders. So the first time going, it wasn't easy. Of course, you are going to work and people are expecting that they're expecting you educated.
Yeah.
Yes. And so how do I usually do it? Since going there, where I went to work, I was based in our health facility there. The nurse charge that was there, and even the medical officer that usually come for consultation in the unit. When I have to go out for activity, I will prepare my work. I prepare my notes, and then I present to them. So that helped me gradually. I was gaining capacity, also reading and improving my skills, even now as I'm now interacting now with other stakeholders in the field and attending training workshops organized by the government and maybe other stakeholders, and also now with trainings that were coming from Mission 21. So that's how I gradually built my capacity. So I can't say it was easy from the beginning. It wasn't easy. Yes, I requested many times to leave. I told my boss at that time, I told him, of blessed memory, before he passed away, I told him, please, I did not go to school to come and do HIV. I went to school because I have nursing procedures to carry out. I was trained in that. So please, can you remove me from this department?
Last time we talked, you told me you don't believe in failure. So
Yes.
where do you find the strength to still go through with it?
You know, coming from school, I've learned to read. Any activity I engage in, I give my best. So I did not believe that I had to fail. Yes, I don't believe in failure. I know you. And it was challenging that I had to read. I kept on. I kept on pressing. I kept on studying. I kept on learning. I kept on wishing to be better, improving my skills day by day. I may have wished to live because it was challenging at some point. Now I had made friends that were just living with HIV. I even created a support group, and so I started getting used to a lot of things. And of course, I was creating it. I didn't have all the experience to run a group like that. So the courage I had from the persons who are living with HIV, and also the way when I go out to work in the community to educate people in the field, the way they received me, with the way they were happy receiving the information. I told myself, Rita, that means at least you have some information that you're giving out. I'm sure that's fun.
I do have another question. Like, when you were sent to the southwest, no,
The Northwest region.
northwest, and I mean, I don't know about the languages in Cameroon, but do they all speak the same language in all the regions? But when you were sent to the field, do they speak the same language or do they speak different languages?
No, they speak. In Cameroon, we have 8, maybe out of the 10 regions we have in Cameroon, 2 are English speaking. So I was sent to the English speaking one. So the language was okay, was the English speaking one. Yes. So I didn't have challenge with the language. The highest challenge I had was the terrain of work. You know, I had to mostly use the bikes to travel. And I was so scared of bikes. Yeah,
Bikes?
so
Motorbikes.
yeah, motorbikes. So I was so scared of them. So that fear had to go because there was no way.
Yes.
Because normally I would not like to drive a bike. I prefer to trek.
We were talking last time. You told me also that you know from where you are, from where you came, and where you are going to.
Yeah, to say I know where I'm coming from and where I'm going to. And because we always have this, I don't know if it's the same with you people that way, because most at times here you can find many persons, you know, they can easily get a job because maybe they know somebody, maybe their family name is a powerful name, it's a name that can open doors for them. And then even if they don't work hard, you know, they can always get some position and do the things that they're supposed to do. But for me, you know, even getting the job, first of all, I didn't know anybody in the PCC. I'm PCC Christian, but I did not, I knew very little about PCC and the health services. So all I did was to send my application, and it just happened that my project work that I did when at my first degree, I wrote but on the prevalence of HIV among pregnant women. Not that I loved HIV so much. I wanted to work in it. You know, it was just a way for me to have a topic to write to make sure I graduate and leave the school, not knowing that that was going to be the thing that was seen, and it was going to be what they're going to decide to employ me on. When I started working, especially moving from the regional coordinator to a national coordinator, from all of us who were working, and maybe from listening to those who were part of my journey moving from regional coordinator to the national coordinator, Sincerely, they said that when they were asked who to propose, that if they proposed my name was not because of any personal interest, because they don't have any personal thing with me, but it was because of my job. It is my work. I did not know anybody in this office. And so I knew that it was just my work that had to speak for me. And my work spoke for me. And I preferred that it was my work that spoke for me rather than people speaking for me. Because the people who agreed up to the appointment, it was because of the work that they were getting from the field. And the passion, most especially the passion, the attitude in which I put in the work. I didn't focus a lot on the financial benefits. No, I could have left. I did not. So most of the time, what I always say to many young persons, to members, is the attitude in which you work. It's not all about the skills. It's about the attitude. Because you can have the skill, but when you have a very negative attitude, I don't think you are a good worker. So I had a very positive attitude towards my work. I put in a lot of energy and I had a lot of passion in what I was doing. What my work was what gave me joy. I make sure I do my best. I make sure I keep on it. And so the attitude towards work, that's one thing that most persons now are like. Attitude towards work. Of course, we all need money. We need to live. We need to pay our bills. We need to have a comfortable life. If that is the main focus in your job, then at times it's always very difficult. It will not make you to love your job. That's what I said. Maybe it was because I knew that where I was coming from, I did not have any name that would back me up. My father wasn't any big man that had some name that would open the doors. Only that did I have some personal relationship and because of my work that I knew that the relationship would hold for me. No. All I had was my job. The activities I did spoke for me. So I always said I knew where I'm coming from. And where I'm going to, of course, I want to have bigger challenges to work. Yes, I want to face new things. I need to get into new offices. And so if I know that I know that I've not reached my limit yet. I still have plans to work in bigger organizations. So that's why you see, I always say I know what I'm going to. So I keep improving, not only in the work I do, I also improve also my capacity by going to school.
Yeah, you told me you are studying public health in your master's.
Yeah, at first I did a master's in reproductive health because I knew it was very important. And then now looking into health space, the master's in public health is very important. So I prefer rather than doing a PhD in public health, I prefer doing second master's, having a master's in public health because I knew that's what I need to where I'm going to.
When I heard about basically a little bit what you're doing and now listening to you, I think you have experienced a lot of things. You have seen a lot of things in the field work, but maybe now also as a national coordinator as well. And I wonder, I imagine that you also have seen a lot of funny or comical things, maybe also inspiring stories from people you met through work or you met while being in the field. Does one of these stories just come to your mind right now?
One of the many experiences I had, first level personal experience was there are times I will just I'll tell them, I'm sure you people are lying to me that you have HIV. HIV is not written over somebody's face. It's really true. Yes, you can live a very healthy and happy life. You just need to be in a community that's supportive. And yeah, so that's some of the experiences that comes to my mind vividly.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Yes, it sounds very inspiring and like very meaningful work that you're doing and that you've done so far and that you keep on doing.
Yes, so Is there something you still want to share with us or with also the people who are listening to the podcast?
I think what I can say more is that if I didn't believe in myself, I would not be here. It's good to be ambitious, also to be ambitious in your job and to be focused. Yes, many persons are not focused. So I think I can only say that we need to believe in ourselves. We need to focus on the things that we are supposed to do. We need to have a price ahead that we want to reach, we want to attain. So I always encourage everybody to say, no matter how much you are working from time to time, even it's not maybe a main course, there are online courses. It's always good to build our capacity to always, and most importantly, to stay relevant in the job that we are doing. Because you cannot stay relevant if you don't move with time. And to move with time is to also to gain new skills and to also to continue to gain a lot of education so that you keep focused. You don't get so satisfied being in the same position. Don't get so comfortable having the qualification that you have. Yeah. And most importantly, the attitude towards our work. Because there are times, I remember there are times when we look at that data, don't look only at, they say 1,000 persons are living with HIV. It's not just a figure in your book. Those are human beings. I say, when you're writing the 1,000, you're writing human beings. So you know that the figures you're writing have figures, have feelings. The figures you're writing, they do have a background, they do have a lot of needs. So when you're writing the figures, think about those figures that you're writing down. But even if you're working behind your desk and you're working with figures, have in mind that those figures are human beings. The figure stands for families, the figure stands for communities. And when you do that, even working on data, you're going to have a very positive attitude because you know that those are human beings. And it will also help to reduce your error. Also know that working even on figures, when you make errors, it's affecting the lives of persons. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for your wisdom and for your stories and experiences that you shared this with us.
It was really inspiring to talk to you. Thank you, Rita. And I'll make sure to keep going.
Thank you very much that you told us all of this. And yes, so we would be finished with our podcast episode.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to listen to me. I know maybe there's a part, if you didn't get it clearly, sorry.
Have a good time, and if you haven't already, follow Young Admission 21 on Instagram and Facebook, where you can learn more about us and our projects. There you also have the opportunity to ask questions to our podcast guests. And don't forget, always listen to the voices around you.